Okay, now you said, no, you are. I'm what, toxic? Okay, explain why. You make it a habit to just come to someone's stream and be negative and talk junk and have nothing else to say? Like, you're not going to actually explain? You're just going to be like, oh, you're a jerk. Okay, why? Urban style individual.
What's up with y'all? Hopefully this video finds you in good spirits, and if not, well, at least you not DSP. And over the course of this video, I just want people to understand the importance of being grateful, because a lot of times, and myself included, we'll assign more value to things not because they are more valuable, but simply because we do not have them. Comparison is the thief of joy. And if you're not careful, you'll end up in misery, even though you seemingly have everything. So let's get into it.
It sucks. I want to keep going. I want to see all the content, but apparently people just don't want to show up for this game. I don't know what else to say. Like, I'm literally just sitting here asking, so is there something in here? Should I be doing? No answer. No one engaging, no one answering. Okay.
Now you see how Phil, he flips this on its head, right? Now, according to him, he loves this game. He couldn't wait to play it again. So you would think that as the entertainer, he would have something lined up for the people that he knows is going to watch it that would be interested in, right? Why don't you show us one of these dungeons or side quests or all the stuff that you've been talking about that you claim you love so much? Why do people have to show up and then tell you what to do, man?
Okay. I guess I'm playing it for myself then. I don't know what else to say. We're literally back down to the viewership for this game that I had when I played it earlier in the year. Seriously. 175 viewers. I don't know how many we have on Kick, but no one talking about the game. So yeah, I guess we're going to have to talk about it.
The reason that is, Phil, is because you're a day late and $1 short. You should have been playing this game a month ago, but you thought you knew better than everyone else. And instead of you playing Clair Obscur, you decided to give your newfound viewership a bunch of streams with you setting things up poorly, and you thought that that was going to sustain them. Now here you are in desperation, hoping that you can get the last of them before they leave, and they're already gone.
Want to play this game. I like it, but it's also not just about support. It's about people showing up and hanging out and playing when I'm playing the game, and no one did today. So yeah, that is disappointing to me. It legit is. Like, I'm actually upset that we were having fun with this game, and I had a holiday break for Christmas, and now I come back to it and no one's here.
Now, this is subtle, but you see how he threw the whole, I went on a Christmas break, as if to say, y'all are punishing me for taking a break from gaming. I do this for you on a daily basis, and I try to take a small break from it, and I come back, and this is what you do to me. This is what he's saying without saying it.
Like, what happened? So thank you for that. This person says, good evening, everyone. I threw the towel in on my personal Expedition 33 playthrough. I was so damn close to platinuming, but Simon is absolutely crazy. I beat Clair with a lot of lucky strikes, but Simon has cheap moves. I'm sure you will enjoy the bastard as 3 phases. All right, I get the feeling we've got a ways till we get to that content. Everyone talks about Simon being the super boss of the game, but I don't even know who the hell he is. So I guess we'll see as we get further in. But thank you for the tip, and I appreciate that. I'll see. We'll have to see. You know, for me, my concern right now is attendance. It's not even support today has been great, but it's not just about support. It's about people actually showing up and engaging with the content. To be honest, there's about 3 or 4 people in YouTube chat talking about the game. There's literally no one all day in Kick chat talking about the game. So Kick, that's probably why we have like no Kick support at all besides 500 kicks today. And YouTube chat, again, it's kind of dead all day. That sucks. My hope was that I would bring this game back and people would be engaged and like it. It sadly isn't really materializing.
Well, that's because, like I said before, you're a day late and $1 short. What you should have done is went throughout this game, maybe did a little bit of research and find out what the interesting parts of the game were. And then when you actually played the game, you would have some type of pathing and or plan for your viewership. But you decided you were going to wing it because you thought people were just waiting in the wings for you to play this game because people are so interested in you and playing games, right, Phil? It just didn't work out. And here you are once again in the entertainment industry, not understanding that entertainment has cycles, it has windows, it has peaks and valleys. I don't care how good something is. If you make people wait too long, the interest will wane.
I do appreciate the support, and I want you to understand I'm not complaining in that regard, but I am streaming for an audience, and I was hoping to get a bigger audience for the game, bringing it back because people wanted it, and here we are, 3 streams in, and already it's dead. That's not cool. I mean, I'm going to have to start talking about this in my vlogs.
Yeah, you're back to the original people who were not interested in watching it to begin with. Now, you hear what he said. I'm going to start mentioning this in my podcast and in my vlog. So, Dents, you know what time it is. The next couple of streams and or podcasts is going to consist of him blaming you for the stream failing. Where were you? And this is why I said before, as a DSP Dent, you have to be multifaceted in your approach to him. You must have perfect attendance. You must also have money. And when you show up, you must also bring conversation. Phil's only job is to show up. That's it.
So people understand that, you know, I want to stream this and play it because I like it, but I need people to actually show up. It's all good if you're watching and don't know anything about the game. That's fine too. But I'll be honest, I really like interactive streams, and some of you have been interactive today, but not everyone. You know, it's actually been quite slow for chatting today, and that's unfortunate.
And you know what you should do as the entertainer? You should lean into the people that are there. You shouldn't worry about the people who are not in the arena. You should focus on entertaining the people who are in the arena. So I know you grew up watching wrestling. Many of us did. And many of them have come from humble beginnings, and they'll tell you stories about they were wrestling in a high school gym, or they were wrestling in a barn somewhere in some obscure town that nobody ever heard of for $5, and there was 10 people there, but they still put on the show because ultimately that's your job, period.
Great. Randy says, I found your stream for the Asmongold interview after a couple of streams. This is insufferable. The interview is an act. I wish you the best. I hope you find peace. What is insufferable? Me playing Expedition 33?
Now, when you look at Phil's face and how he's responding to what the guy said, he's going to try to act incredulous, like he doesn't know what he's talking about, like he's just so confused. And in his mind, he thinks this makes him look more intelligent, but it actually has the opposite effect, because what that guy said, everybody else was feeling and thinking. So the only person confused about what this guy said here, Phil, is you.
What a stupid thing to say. You realize that in life, you have to justify things you say, right? You don't just say things like that and not back them up. Like, you actually have to, like, give justification. Exactly. What a toxic thing to say on a chill stream where all I'm doing is playing an RPG. Like, what are you talking about?
You see how Phil tries to reduce it to what it's not? Now, on the surface, is he playing the game? Sure. But it's about what he's doing while he's playing the game. He's killing the experience for the viewer because he's unhappy about what's going on. And because he's upset, now your experience is up for grabs. It's completely up to him how it's going to go.
Okay, now you said, no, you are. I'm what, toxic? Okay, explain why. You make it a habit to just come to someone's stream and be negative and talk junk and have nothing else to say, like you're not going to actually explain. You're just going to be like, oh, you're a jerk. Okay, why? Like, I'm just chilling. I'm playing Expedition 33. What's the problem exactly? What were you expecting on a stream titled Expedition 33?
He was expecting the person that was playing Expedition 33 to look like they actually want to play Expedition 33, Phil. That's what he's getting at. When somebody says you are insufferable or a situation is insufferable, that means they're not interested in it from any measurable metric. No way, shape, form, or fashion is anything you're doing coming across to them that's something that's exciting and or entertaining. And that's what he's getting at. You're making it miserable for the viewer because you're sitting up here whining because you don't have 50 more viewers or 100 more viewers than you normally do, even though you have your king's tax. Now, according to you, this is a sustainable business model. But why every single time you have one off day, here we are acting like it's the end of the world? It's almost as if your business model is held up by a house of cards.
So for the record, the guy who insulted me never said another word, of course. He said, you can't just insult someone. You have to justify things you say in light. You know, I guess some people.
He didn't really insult you, though. What he did was give you a real-time review to his experience of your streams. That was it. Now you took it as an insult because you felt like it was something, he was saying something bad, but in actuality, Phil, he was saying something that was true. Now you're saying that you can't use that to improve or get better, but at this point, should anybody really have to tell you what you should be doing after you've been doing this for 2 decades? You should be teaching other people at this point. Nobody owes you anything, Phil. Like this guy, you got to tell him exactly what to do. You got to give him all your money. Tell him, tell him, hey, go into this room right here. It's going to be a chest in there. Like this guy was literally turning to the chat, asking them a question, and then waiting until somebody answered. And if he didn't get an adequate answer in the time he thought was reasonable, he start throwing a hissy fit. Like, how is this good for the viewership, dude? It's not.
People don't know that. They legit think they can just say whatever they want, and they don't have to justify anything, probably because they've been taught that by society, which is completely incorrect. But I gave the guy a chance to elaborate on what he was saying, and he said nothing. He's been dead quiet, so...
Well, that's because what's already understood doesn't have to be explained. You know, this is not like this is a one-off situation where you just happen to say something or things just happen to go wrong. This is you day in and day out. Now, let's say this guy is from the Asmongold viewership, right? And let's say he has been watching you over the course of the last month plus roughly, right? What has he seen in that time? He's seen you wage quit multiple games. He's seen you do setup streams and talk about your toys endlessly. You've introduced him to endless amounts of detractors because a lot of them were introduced to detractor content by you. Like I said before, you don't have anything lined up for these people, and now you're acting surprised that nobody's showing up.
There you go. Listen, you don't like me or you don't like my content. You don't have to, but at least tell me what's wrong. How can I ever improve? We only have about 20 minutes left, guys. So, you know, we're probably not going to finish this dungeon, but we will next time. And I hope, sadly, I hope that people show up next time and we'll, you know, again, engage with the stream. I'm happy that now you guys are talking with me. I appreciate that.
This man really said, how could I ever improve? This is so sad, man. And it's a shame that, let's say you are a true DSP dent and you want to watch him unironically because you actually like him. Think about your experience watching this stream. He don't even care that you're there. He's upset about the people that are not there, as if he has any real control over that. It's not like you're their teacher, you know, and you can call their parents and say, where's Johnny? You know, it is what it is. They're not there. Focus on the people who are.
I wish the whole stream had been like this, though. And all of a sudden, the fact it got so slow, very bizarre. Randy basically was being nasty in the chat. He's like, oh, I came over from Asmongold, but man, it was all lies and I don't like you. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, can you explain? So he said in the chat, oh, I'm too focused on income and contributions, and I should be just be about the game. It would be cool. You do realize today, I think I mentioned income maybe a grand total of maybe 3 or 4 times over the course of like a 5 to 6 hour stream.
You do realize that it's not just about that. It's about all the things culminating all together. You know, we all got that person that we know that's super annoying or always talking or always got something to say. And sure, every now and then they do say something that's noteworthy, but they say so much dumb shit that at some point you just start to blot them out. They become white noise, right? So you actually have to recalibrate your ears and tune into them when you're around them, because, you know, for the most part, a lot of the shit they say is going to be a bunch of nonsense. Now, as for you, Phil, all you've been doing was complaining this whole time. Now you can pick out and say, oh, I only mentioned support a couple times, but it's not just about you asking for support. It's about you crying and whining about the game, crying because people don't want to be your friend and talk to you, crying because it's harder for you to sow the seeds of parasocial relationships because people are not interacting with you.
Okay. I said right off the bat, my disappointment with today's stream is that we didn't get enough people. The support has been great. I'm not disappointed whatsoever in the support of this stream. I'm sad that we didn't get enough viewers and we didn't get enough people who were engaged with the game. Like, when I stream, I'm trying to stream for a decent audience. Originally, when we started streaming this about a month ago, people were coming in droves. We had double the attendance. Now the attendance is down to 144 people on YouTube, and I have no idea how many we have on Kick. That's not good. That's disappointing. That's my concern. Income has nothing to do with it.
And sure, that can be a concern, but why does the audience have to share your burden? You already covered this. Why do you have to drive the point home so much and really think that anybody's going to be interested in watching you unironically when all you're doing is complaining? And on top of that, they sit up and they look up at your leaderboard and they say, man, this guy made $200 and he's complaining about viewership. So for the average person, that's going to come off to them as you're being ungrateful. This is no different than a movie star or a musician talking about how, you know, they only made $5 million instead of making $7 million on their tour. And you're like, who gives a shit?
So literally, here's what I think the problem is. People go and listen to all the nasty stuff about me, and then they come to the stream and they complain about it. Did you actually sit on the stream? Were you actually here watching? Like, what you're saying literally didn't even happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't even happen at all. He says, you have moved from saying support to attendance. Do you not understand the difference? When I say support, I mean people actually, like, financially supporting the stream. Like someone throwing a super chat or a membership or a sub. When I say attendance, I mean actual attendance, like people being here. Like, I want to warrant the fact that I just spent 4 hours playing this game, doing the optional super bosses, optional dungeons. I want to make sure there's an audience for it.
Phil, he wasn't saying that you were using those terms interchangeably, even though that's how you took it. So you're explaining and arguing a point he never made. He's saying you went from talking about support to going about talking about attendance, which in his mind makes you appear ungrateful. And he's right. How could you be complaining about anything when, according to you, most of the times everything is good? So you have one bad day. So what? That's business. You move on. You go into the next day. I mean, could you imagine walking into a business and you looking at the menu and the owner comes out and says, man, you know, I really hope you buy something, you know, because today's been really rough. And then, like, you know, he starts to put this moral obligation on you. What's that going to do? It's going to make you feel icky, man. Like, you know what? I'm just going to get up out of here, man. Let me hit a drive-through or something on the way home. This dude weird as hell.
Just because a few people came by and threw some money, and I appreciate that because that's what keeps me afloat, that doesn't mean that in general my audience is into the game. And that's disappointing because people had convinced me to play it again. You know, I love this game. I played it earlier in the year. I think it's amazing. But I am sad that now it looks like people don't care again. Like, this is the second time now this has happened. So what I'll do in vlogs, in hangout sessions, I'll mention it. I'll see if we can drum up more attendance for the game, because I like the game and it is back. Like, it's back in the rotation now. I know it was gone for a week and a half, but it's back and I want to enjoy it and I want to hang out with you guys when I play it. I don't want it to feel like I'm just playing it for me, you know.
You hear that, Dents? That's what's on the menu. Phil's going to be begging you for viewership. He's going to ask you to justify and explain why you were not there, even though you told him you would be. But what Phil doesn't understand is the second his newfound viewership came in, what did he do? He alienated his old viewership. He did it with Kino Casino and he did it with Asmongold, because the first thing he did was go on a long rant about how they did not want to watch him play games like this, only to be a month later and him playing it, and the only viewership that would potentially watch it is the people that he alienated from the beginning. Like I said, you just cannot make this shit up, man. And what Phil's going to have to do, whether he likes it or not, is he's going to have to bring back some of those trucking simulator streams, bruh. Because guess what? The whales are back in control and they're showing you what it is, Phil. So you're going to do what they tell you to do. And there's two things you can do about it, Phil. Nothing and like it. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Urban style content. I'm dead.